stop preaching and start talking about home or anything at all besides revelations. When Cooper said Joseph Smith prayed for wisdom, Leanie nodded stiffly. He then told quite a long story about how God appeared to Joseph in what Cooper seemed to be calling a pillow of light. To avoid commenting on something so outlandish, Leanie asked, "More tea?" even though their cups were still full.
"I'm sorry, we can't,"
Cooper said. "What do you mean you can't?" Leanie asked.
"We don't drink tea or coffee. It's part of our faith,"
Lance said.
"No alcohol either, and we don't smoke."
"No tea? Ever?"
"Ever."
Well, that was bizarre. Better that they had come into the house and said, "Would you care to join our church? We don't breathe oxygen, or drink water, or eat food." The men accepted scones at least. Aldine held up the jar of silver shred, but Cooper shook his head a little more vigorously than seemed polite, so Leanie laughed and said she agreed completely. Too perfumey, the silver was, like something he'd rather wash with than eat. Only Aldine had ever liked it. A gate clanged on the street, and Leanie wondered if her aunt could possibly have taken an earlier bus back from Troon.
"It probably sounds strange,"
Cooper said.
"Well, it must. I've been in your country 1 year, 8 months, 2 weeks, and 1 day, and not one person has believed me yet."
He swallowed and summoned a voice from somewhere in his chest.
"But I testify,"
he said, his eyes on Aldine's, then Leanie's, pleading with them,
"that it's the truth."
Aldine swallowed a sip of tea and looked at the carpet, as if not sure how to greet such an exposure of the soul. She was embarrassed, Leanie saw. After a pause, Aldine looked at both men in turn and asked, "Are you sure it's not due to the tea business?"
"What?"
"They're not drinking tea. Maybe people think, I could never."
"I don't see how it could be that,"
Cooper said. He walked to the window and gazed at the wet glass and the wet street, the soaking wet stones of the conjoined houses, and something about him tugged at Leanie's being. "Do you ever hear from your family at all?" she asked. He drew something from his pocket and unfolded a picture that was unremarkable. A sun with lines sticking out of it, 2 figures, small and big, holding hands, the word LOV, some squarish shapes. Each week, he said, his youngest sister Sarah, who was 3, drew him a picture, and his mother sent it to him, and he carried one with him at all times in case he got discouraged, which happened a fair amount. He said that when he was 18, he'd been fed up because there were so few Mormons where they lived in New York, and he was tired of the rules his mother and father imposed on him: no drinking, no smoking, scripture study every single evening around the table, and their irrational disapproval of a Catholic girl who was achingly good in every way except that she was not Mormon. They wanted him to go on a mission, too, but he didn't want to go. He was planning to leave them all, the church, his family, when one day Sarah was sick and he had to stay home with her while his parents went to a funeral. She was hungry, so he put a plate of food before her, went to get something, a magazine, and when he returned, her face was bright red.
"She choked for the longest time. I didn't know what to do. I really had no idea."
He prayed that if God would let him save her, he would do it. He would go on a mission like his parents wanted. Leanie waited.
"I pressed on the right part of her chest somehow. It came out. It was a clump of bread."
"Ah," Aldine said.
"I made an effort to believe after that. And more I found that I did believe, that it was all true, and I could keep my promise."
Aldine sat very stiffly in her chair, the thick bakelite bracelets gleaming on her arm as she held the teacup unnaturally still.
Would you mind if we come again next Saturday?"
Elder Cooper asked. "Certainly," Leanie said, not giving Aldine a second to interject, her whole being calm and steady. "For tea," she added, and then remembered the men didn't drink it and that she and Aldine would have to ask.